guys, it's me, Brittany, or Bray, whichever you want to call me, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a tier list for Disney World rides. I think I mentioned that I wanted to do this video in a previous one, but I don't remember. But yeah, let's just get into it. I did find a tier list on just tiermaker.com, except I did change the categories because it was just like the S, A, B, C, D. But I changed it to my fave, love it, like it slash it's okay, pass, and never rode. The pass category is like, you know, I definitely don't choose. Like, it's something not a ride I would choose, but if I go on it, I go on it. It's not a big deal. Because there isn't a ride that I've rode that I don't like, so I don't really need a category on that. So that's why I kind of just did pass. Like, it doesn't really matter if I skip that one or not. So first off, also I apologize if I get any of the ride names wrong. Especially with this first one because I don't remember what it's called, but it is the one in Magic Kingdom in Tomorrowland that is kind of above the People Mover, and I have actually never rode that, which is probably why I don't remember the name of it. I think it's Astro Blaster, something along that. I will put the name on here if I can remember it. But I've actually never rode that and don't really think I ever will. I feel like half the time I've gone down there it's not even open, and the other half the line is just so long, and I've like watched videos on it and it just kind of looks more like a carnival ride, and it's just not for me. The next ride is the Barnstormer. I remember going on this when I was 5 years old, which was the first time I ever went to Disney, and I remember liking it, but I haven't rode it since then. It is more of the like kiddie coaster, so I am gonna say pass, but I do remember liking it when I was 5. The next one is Big Thunder Mountain, and this has to go into my fave. I love Big Thunder Mountain so much. It's definitely one that I always really want to ride. Like, if, you know, people are like, okay, what are we all like hope to get on? Big Thunder is definitely my go-to answer. The next one is Space Ranger Spin, and I don't know which category to put this in. I do really like it, but if I don't go on it, it's not like a huge deal, which I feel like is what love it and my fave categories are for. So I think I'm gonna put it in like it. That might move. I do really like the ride though. I feel like it's just really fun for everyone, and it's a game and a ride at the same time, so who doesn't love that? But yeah, that one I feel like I might change at the end, but I'm gonna put it in like it for now. The Carousel of Progress is next. I don't know if everyone counts it as a ride. Some people I know count it as a show. I count it as a ride, kind of both, I guess. But I love the Carousel of Progress. I just think it's such a classic. I believe it is the last ride that Walt himself ever worked on, so it's just very special and very iconic. We've got to put her in Love It. Look at that, we have one in each so far. The next ride is Dinosaur, and this might shock some people, but have never rode it. I have watched videos on it, and my family and everything has gone on it, and even they don't really care for it, and the videos I've watched, it just doesn't seem like I would really enjoy it. The next ride is Dumbo, and even though again it is a classic Disney ride, I am gonna have to put it in pass. It's just, if if it's a short wait time and I'm over there, I will ride it. But to be honest, I like half the time don't even go over to the circus area. Next one is Mount Everest, and I have actually never rode this. I have never rode this, but always want to, but always chicken out on. I am very picky when it comes to roller coasters, and I think the part that scares me the most is that first part where you go up that like you can literally see and there's just nothing below you. Everything else I really think I would like. It's just that very first part that I just know I wouldn't. And every single trip I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go on it. And then I get over there and I see that part and I just chicken out every single time. So will I ride it one day? Yes. But have I rode it yet? No. The next ride is Flight of Passage, and sadly I have never rode this. I want to, but every single trip I've gone, the line is at least 2.5 hours or more. There was one trip I went on where it was 6 hours and people were still getting in line, and I will not even wait 2 hours for my favorite ride. So one I've never rode before, I'm definitely not waiting that long for. Frozen Ever After. I love Frozen Ever After. I'm trying to think if this is like a fave or just a love it, because I really do love Frozen Ever After. I'm gonna put it in love it for now, but she may move up. I just love Frozen Ever After. I love Frozen, and the ride is just gorgeous, especially the animatronics are just so amazing. And my favorite part is when you go like backwards, is also singing Let It Go. I love it, and the queue is really cool for that ride as well. I just love it all around. The next ride is the Mexico ride. I think it's called the Three Coloneros, but I would just call it the Mexico ride. I do really like this ride. I feel like I have to get rid of the It's Okay part here, because none of these are just It's Okay. They're all I like it. I really like the Mexico ride. I know there's been rumors for a couple years now that it is going to be changed to a Coco theme, and I think if it did, I would really like it. I love Coco so much. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I love it. The next ride is the Haunted Mansion. It's not the best picture of it. I actually wasn't even sure at first if that's what it was, but it is. It is the Haunted Mansion, and this has to go into my faves. I love the Haunted Mansion. I love just Halloween time anyways. Halloween is actually my birthday, but that's not the reason I like Halloween. I just love Halloween, all the spooky stuff and just the aesthetic of Halloween. And Haunted Mansion is just, it's everything. I love it so much, and it always has the cutest merch. It's great. Next is It's a Small World. I am going to put it in pass. I don't like the ride that much. I was gonna say it's relaxing, but it's like not, because you have to hear the annoying song over and over, and it's just, and then you get it stuck in your head for like your whole trip. The next ride I believe is Figment. Some of these pictures are not the best. But I'm gonna put it in like it. I like Figment, and again, it usually has no wait time. This trip I just took last June, one of the days we were there, I think it had a 40-minute wait, and that is the longest I've ever seen it. I have never seen Figment at more than just a walk-on, so that was so rare. But I think Figment's really cute. The Little Mermaid. ride. I think it's called Journey Through the Little Mermaid. I love the Little Mermaid. For one, that's just one of like my top movies anyways, but also just like the ride is so fun. You also usually don't have to wait super long for that ride, and I just think it's so cute. I like it a lot. I like those rides where you just kind of get to chill out and it's just nice. Next is Jungle Cruise. Again, not the best picture, but at least I could tell what it was from. And I am gonna have to put it in Love It. I sadly did not get to ride that this last trip either because it was down for a while. Had a really long wait another time, and then it was closed for weather another time. So I did not get to ride that either. But I love Jungle Cruise. I love all the corny jokes, and I just think it's so fun, and it's actually my uncle's like favorite ride. So he's like, we always have to ride that, which I agree because I just love it. But yeah, I just think it's great. I love that ride. Next is Cali Rapids, and I have to put this in my faves. I know some people aren't water ride people and therefore like literally try to avoid it as much as possible, but I love water rides. I love them so much. I love Cali Rapids. It is my favorite ride in Animal Kingdom by far. I'm not the biggest fan of Animal Kingdom, to be honest, but Cali Rapids is like, it's everything. I just love it. I love water rides, and when you go down like the biggest hill, I always hope to be like at the bottom so I can get like completely soaked. I am not one of those people who go on water rides and wear a poncho. I am totally ready to get wet, especially because it's always so hot when I go, and I just love it. The next ride is the Safari, and I obviously have to put that in Love It. Again, I am not really a fan of Animal Kingdom too much, but Cali Rapids and the Safari are like the two saving graces for me for Animal Kingdom. I just love them so much. I love looking at all the animals, and it's just a nice like 20-25 minute ride, and it's just so much fun. Who doesn't like looking at all the animals? You get to learn a lot of facts and everything. I just think it's so much fun. The next ride I think is a very underrated ride, and that is Living with the Land. I really like Living with the Land. It's so like, it's just so relaxing. I think out of every ride at Disney, it is the most relaxing. You just sit in a nice boat and go through like greenhouses and learn how like Disney grows stuff and everything. But even if you don't pay attention to what they're saying, it's just nice to just chillax, and I just think it's very underrated. And again, you like never have to wait for it. A lot of times it is a walk-on or like 15 minutes or less, and it's just great. I highly recommend. It is in the Living with the Land Pavilion, in the same one as Soarin' and Planet Earth, and I just highly recommend. Next is the Teacups, and I am gonna have to put this in pass. I am not much of a like spinny ride person, so when I do ride the Teacups, I kind of just barely spin the wheel, if at all. Plus, I just think the wait is usually kind of long for like what the ride is, I think. Especially because if you go to like a county fair or whatever, they do have like the strawberries or like dogs or whatever that are pretty much the same thing. So I usually pass on it unless I'm with my little cousins and they really want to go on it, but otherwise it's just a pass for me. The next ride is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and I've actually never rode it. There has been a couple times where I was going to go on it, but it got closed for weather, I remember I had a fast pass for it a couple of years ago, and then it closed because of weather and everything, and it was towards the end of the night, so it's not even like they could try again, you know, later or whatever. And it also usually has a super long wait, and it's literally like a 3-minute ride, so I just, again, don't want to wait for a super long time in general, but especially for a ride I'm not even sure if I'm gonna like. So I have just never rode it, but definitely do want to. The next one is Mission Space, and I have also never rode this one, and I never will. I know what Mission Space is, and it is not for me. It is not for me at all. Nope. If you don't know what Mission Space is, look it up. But yeah, it is not for me. I will never ride it. The next one is Navi River Journey. I'm trying to think of where to put this one. I don't care for the Avatar movie. Avatar The Last Airbender, on the other hand, which is not Disney, but I love that series. But Avatar with the blue people, like the movie, I don't really care for it. I watched it once and that was enough. I think the land is gorgeous, and again, I would love to ride Flight of Passage. And Navi River Journey is very, very pretty, but I don't have to ride it, which is why I think I'm gonna put it in pass, because if it's a short enough wait time, or when fast passes existed, if I had a fast pass for it, I will ride it and I will enjoy it, but it's definitely not one I have to ride or anything like that. The next one is the People Mover, and it is absolutely going into my fave. I love the People Mover so much. It honestly might be like my favorite ride out of everything. I don't know. I just love the People Mover. I ride it multiple times each trip. I think this last trip alone, I rode it like 5 times, I think, maybe even 6. And I am just not afraid to keep riding that thing. I could ride it all day and I would think it was a good day. I just love that ride. It's a nice 20 to 25 minutes and you just get to sit. This one also, I know I said Living with the Land is very relaxing, but this one is also very relaxing. You just get to sit and people watch and go through rides and just, it's everything. Yeah, it honestly just might be like my favorite out of everything. I just love the People Mover. The next ride is Peter Pan's Flight, and I've rode this twice. I almost thought it was just once, but it is twice. And I love this ride. I totally understand why there's always such a long line for it. It's just amazing. It's so cool, and Peter Pan is also just one of my favorite movies and has been since I was little. I feel like I've said that a few times in this video, that it's my favorite movie, but I really love Peter Pan, and just the, like I said, the ride is so cool. Even the queue is really cool, and yeah, when fast passes were a thing, if I could get one for this ride, I had to get it because it's just that good. The next one is Pirates of the Caribbean, and that is also going in Levitt. I, again, will ride Pirates of the Caribbean multiple times a trip. I think I rode it 2 or 3 times this last trip. That's just how much I love it. I don't think I've actually ever seen the movies, which is kind of crazy, but I love pirates. I love the ride so much. The next ride is the Carousel, and that's an automatic pass. I've only rode it once, and that was still just one time more than I ever needed to, because it's just a carousel. I know it's like a Disney carousel, but it's still just a carousel. It's nothing unique at all, so pass. This last trip I took was the first trip I've been on where it was open, and I really wanted to ride it, but it was down for a while. The one day we were there, and then just the line was too long. I know I would love the ride, but I just don't like to spend my whole day waiting in line. This one's Rise of the Resistance. I have not rode it. Okay, and I was kind of gonna be crazy to hear, but I've actually only ever seen the first like 3 Star Wars movies. So even though I haven't really seen the movies, I definitely will ride Rise of the Resistance when I get the chance. This one is Rock and Roller Coaster, and I have never rode it and never will. I can't do things that go upside down, so that's pretty much all there is to it. The next one is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and that automatically is going into my fave. I love Runaway Railway. Who doesn't? Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a person say they don't like that ride. It's genius. It's amazing. My favorite part is the tornado part, if you know what I'm talking about. It's perfect. Honestly, perfect. The only thing I would change about it is I wish it was longer, but it's even like a good, like, it's not only like 2 or 3 minutes. It's like, I don't know how long it is, maybe 5 or 10, maybe? I don't know, but I love that ride so much. I rode it twice this last trip and it was great. The next one is Slinky Dog Dash. I love Slinky Dog. I have only been able to ride it twice, but I love the ride. The next one is Smugglers Run, and I have never rode this either. I don't know if I'll ever ride this one. It just doesn't seem like my type of ride. It doesn't really pique my interest or anything. Obviously, if I do ride it, I ride it, but yeah, I don't know, it doesn't really pique my interest. The next one is Soarin', and I love Soarin'. Yeah, I think it has to go in my faves. I love Soarin'. It's actually my mom's favorite ride, and especially if I get B1. And if not B1, B2. The next ride is Space Mountain, and I have never rode this, and I don't think I ever will. It kind of terrifies me, for one, because it's all in the dark, and I don't think I would like that I can't see where I'm going, but I also don't think I would like that no one is sitting next to me, so I don't know if I'll ever ride that one. The next one is Spaceship Earth. I really like Spaceship Earth. I just think it's really cool that you get to go inside the golf ball and everything, and I know that they are going to update, I think, the end scene, which will be really cool. The next one is Splash Mountain, and you know this is gonna go in my face because, like I said earlier when talking about Kelly Rapids, I love water rides. I'm very excited for when they change it to the Princess and the Frog theme. I think that'll be really cool, especially because I think Tiana and just that movie in general is so like underappreciated in the parks. So I think that'll be really cool. It will be sad to get rid of the original theme, but I think if they had to choose a new theme, I think Princess and the Frog is kind of a good one. The next one, this one might surprise you because I did say I've never seen Star Wars before, but Star Tours, I love Star Tours with all of my heart. I don't know what about it has such a grip on me, but it is one of those rides that I'm like, no, I have to ride this. I love Star Tours. I don't know what it is about it. The next one is the Alien Swirling Saucers, and I'm gonna have to put this in pass, I think. I do really like the ride, but it's only like 2 minutes, which is so short. I think if it was longer I would like it more. The next ride is Test Track, and again I'm gonna put this in my faves. I know I have a lot up there but I love Test Track. The next is the carpets. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I kind of talked pretty much about it when we were talking about Dumbo, and it's just going to go in a pass. I'm just going to put the Dino Land one in there as well right now. The next one is Under the Sea with Nemo. For the ride itself, I think I would have to give it a pass. But since you come out into the aquarium, I am gonna give it a like it. So for the actual ride itself, I could pass on, but since it comes out into the aquarium, I will give it a like it. I know you could just go to the aquarium and skip the ride, but I always figure Nemo is literally always a walk-on. I have never ever seen a wait for Nemo. So I'm like, might as well just get another ride out of it and then go to the aquarium. The next one is the Speedway. I'm gonna put it in pass just because it is hard for adults to ride, especially if you have like 2 adults or whatever. I like the Speedway, but I definitely only really ride it when I'm with my little cousins and everything, and even me and my 11-year-old cousin, I mean she is pretty tall so this could also be why, but sometimes it's even like there's not enough legroom for the 2 of us, so getting 2 adults in there is just like impossible, especially again if you are taller or if you're even just like a little bit bigger, then it is just very hard to get adults in there. So but I know kids really like it, so again I will ride it if I have a kid with me, but I am definitely not going to be one of those adults that just ride it by themselves, so that's why I say it's pass. The Hollywood Tower of Terror is next, and I have never rode it, mainly because I am terrified to. I don't think I will ever ride it, but you never know, but I just really don't think I would enjoy it. Next one is Toy Story Mania. I'm gonna have to put it a little higher. I think I like Toy Story Mania a little bit more than Buzz, just because you can actually see where you're shooting, where Buzz you can't. You know, your hand does really get tired on Toy Story Mania, but I just, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Toy Story Mania as a little bit higher. Plus, like, the queue and everything is so cool. Buzz is too, but Toy Story Mania is just like, it's so cool, the queue and everything. And finally is Winnie the Pooh. I forget if it has an actual name or if that's just what it's called, but I'm gonna have to put it in like it. It's very cute. Kind of weird if we're being honest, but it's fun. It's pretty cute. So that is my tier list. There are more rides than I thought that I've never rode before. I know a few of them are like kind of newer within the last like year, so kind of makes sense on why I haven't rode those yet. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see one with shows or like anything else at Disney, because there's obviously a ton of other stuff that I can make a tier list on. So if you guys liked it, make sure you like and subscribe down below and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. I think that is all, so I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!